In this lecture, we'll see how to watch Star Wars episodes on your Node MCU board. The main agenda of this exercise will let you know how to connect your Node MCU to internet or any of your access points, and how to download in animations. These are small animations which have been created by ASCII characters, and the Star Wars episodes will be watching in form of animations which are done through ASCII characters. Now, what makes Node MCU to connect to internet? Node MCU is basically powered by ESP8266 hardware, which is a very minute IC, which is of very small size. You can observe it. The metallic shield which is present on your Node MCU is the ESP8266 IC, which has the necessary hardware to connect to networks, which are 802.11 B, G or N protocol based. So these are basically WLAN protocols which work at 2.4 GHz frequency. It also has integrated TCP/IP stack and an output power of 19 dBm, and it is powered by internally with Tensilicas and MCU. Now, whatsoever MicroPython image which is running, it's actually running on the 32-bit MCU which is present on ESP8266. If you see the internal block diagram, all this blue colored part is the analog portion or the RF portion, and this yellow colored part is the processor portion. It has all basic needs to be qualified to be called as processor, and it also has this wireless connectivity hardware. Now, before going further, we'll have a basic terminology which that we'll be using. Now, SSID is a technical name for your wireless networks or your access points which provide you internet, and IP address is your software level ID for node which is connected to network, and MAC address is actually the hardware level ID or the ID which is given by the manufacturer to particular nodes which are connecting to the network. And access points are something which are providing the network for nodes which want to connect. The nodes which want to connect, we call them as stations here. So a wireless station is something like your laptop trying to connect to your Wi-Fi router, which is access point here. Now, Node MCU can also be made as an access point. Now, by default, the Node MCU is access point, and if you want to create it as a station or a device which wants to connect to the internet or connect to the network, you have to categorically mention in the code and enable it to work as a station. Now, I'll just switch on my Node MCU. I'll just insert my USB cable to PC. I'll just go out of the presentation and let me see the wireless networks present. You see this, my UB. This is the access point name which I have given to the Node MCU board. Now let me just remove it. Let me see whether it will go off or not. Yeah, it's gone. I don't see any my UV now. So now by default my Node MCU hardware behaves as access point. Now let's go further to the code. Now let's start to code. I have created the project as we created earlier itself. Now I shall import network. Network is a module which helps you in connecting to the networks, and there is one more module called socket which can help you to create sockets to the network through which you can communicate. Sockets are like just a software ports through which your network connects to particular IP. I just want to make sure that main is called from the main module itself. And now what will be present in main? Mainly I want to put two things in main. One is I want to connect to internet and then watch Star Wars. So let me connect to the internet first. Connect to my access point. This is one more function I want to write, in which I'll mention how to access the access point. First of all, how to connect to the access point. Then watch starwars. Now, what would contain in connecting to access point? Connect to AP. Connect to AP will contain creation of a WLAN object. WLAN object is actually created through utilizing the module function module network, and there is a function called WLAN in the network module, which can help you to connect to the, which can help you to enable Node MCU to act as a station. As I said previously, by default, Node MCU is not behaving as a station. It's only an access point. Now I will try to make it behave as a station. WLAN active, make it true, which enables the Node MCU to behave as a station. Now I'll check whether it's been connected. If not connected, I'll just check if it is connected. If not, I'll just try to say like it's connecting to network. Now I'll try to connect. In the connect, you have to mention your SSID and password. So in your case, it will be your access point name and access point password. And while not WLAN is connected, this will check whether it is connected or not. Until it's connected, I'll just pass my time. And once it is connected, I'll print the network configuration. In order to access network configuration, to what network it is connected, what is its IP which is assigned to it, and what is the DNS of it, and what is the subnet mask, you have to just use the function WLAN config. This will print you out the network configuration. Now with this I'll be connecting to the access point. Now I have to download the starwars escalations, for which I'll write the function def watch starwars, inside which I want to create a socket with which I'll be able to download. Socket is just like your hardware sockets. The software socket is something which tries to access your IP, whatsoever you are interested in. So I shall create a software socket to access the address info first. So socket module will help me to get the address info. The Star Wars episodes are being provided by this link, blinkenlights.nl, over the port 23. A socket can have multiple ports. Over this particular port, they are providing us it. Now, I want to get the address info. Address info will return you a tuple in which you will have the IP and extra information. So the very first tuple will be your IP address. So I shall just try to connect to the socket. Socket.socket will connect you to the IP as talked connect and give the address. Make this address. This is the address, and this will s.connect will make it a connected. Now I have to download continuously data to be received is through s.receive. I want to receive over 500 characters, and I'll simply print them in the ASCII format, which is a 8-bit character, UTF encoded, end of the character being a space. That's it. Now this will enable you to access your Star Wars episodes. Run your Node MCU configuration. This will upload the code onto your board, and when you remove your USB cable and connect it back, it restarts your Node MCU, and you should be seeing this episode. I've already done this on my board. Now let me open PuTTY. I'll open Node MCU. Now you can see connected to internet. Let me do it again. I'll just remove it. Let me close PuTTY. Connect it back. Open PuTTY. You can see connecting to network. Network configuration is printed. Now you are seeing this ASCII. Now let us see. This is ASCII. Now you see this. This will show you the complete episode of Star Wars. Isn't it great? This is episode 4, what you are watching. Not only just this, you can just Google for ASCII. This is where the site which has been providing it. It is providing Star Wars, Marvin also. This is called ASCII. Now you can see like different kind of ASCII available. You can try to access them and try to print it over your Node MCU. You can see that episode is running still. This is quite great animation. This requires tremendous amount of effort. I think you like this. Now in our coming lectures, we'll see how to post sensor data onto interfaces like HTTP or MQTT brokers to visualize your data and see the status of your sensors. Thank you.